Welcome back to the Social Selling Podcast. And we are taking it to the next level because we are digging into Sales Navigator. That's right, the premium version of LinkedIn that you or your company are probably paying a fair price for. But it is absolutely packed with amazing features and can be a game changer for social sellers. So what I want to dig into today, what are the secrets about Sales Navigator? I want to say that LinkedIn doesn't want you to know. I mean, they probably do want you to know because it'll probably sell more Sales Navigator. But what are the secrets that they maybe don't make very obvious? And I've worked with teams all over the world on leveraging Sales Navigator to its full potential. And I've noticed one key thing. Now, I love LinkedIn, obviously, biggest LinkedIn fan out there. But when it comes to training Sales Navigator, LinkedIn tends to give you a bit of an introduction, but they really don't dig into the detail needed to help sales teams get the most out of it. And it is no different to joining a gym and someone giving you a quick little tour around the gym equipment and then off you go. As someone who has joined many gyms over the years, I'm not going to say I use lots of them, but certainly had plenty of introductions into gym equipment. Didn't teach me anything about how to use them, and so I didn't use them for many years. And it was only when I got a personal trainer that I learned how to use all this amazing equipment. And Sales Navigator is the same. LinkedIn will give you an introduction as to what these different things are, but they do not show you how to use it properly. And for a lot of sales teams, what that equates to is that they're not getting the most out of it. So let's stop wasting time and let's dig into what some of these big secrets are, some of the best features of Sales Navigator that if you use right can help you unlock even more social selling success. So my first one of my favorite ones, is the amazing insights that Sales Navigator gives you on your target prospects. Now, we're going to talk about lists. This is also part on my list today of the amazing lists you can build. But when you build lists for leads and target prospect companies, Sales Navigator will give you insights, and it will show you things like who has joined a role recently in the past 90 days, who's new in role, who's just joined the company. That's an amazing insight, because if someone is new in a company, there's several factors that make it potentially more likely to convert. Number one, if they've just joined this company, they're probably not going to have existing relationships with the current suppliers, which means they might be more open to new suppliers coming on, like yourself, for example. Number two, they're on probation. They might have a 90-day, shorter or longer probation period before they actually, secure the job long term. So they need to prove themselves. So if you can come in and say, I can save you money, or I can improve efficiency, or I can do X, Y, and Z, that's good for them, because if they can do that, that might help them secure the job. So there are so many factors that make people new in role very good ones to target. And guess what? Sales Navigator will not only show you it, but they'll put them in their own individual list, which is fantastic. Another one of my favorite insights is the people in the list who have posted content in the past 30 days. So Sales Navigator will show you of your list, of your search results, who has posted content in the past 30 days. What does that show me? That shows me some of the most active LinkedIn users in my prospect list. So these might be ones I want to prioritize because they are clearly active, way above what most of the others are. It shows me there is a higher chance they're going to respond to my messages because they are a lot more active. And more importantly, the content they're sharing could be the golden conversation starter you've been looking for. When someone's posting content, is one of the best introduction opportunities possible. So I might see that Mason has posted something on LinkedIn. I find the post and I use that to start the conversation, and I message in mail or LinkedIn message Mason and say, Mason, loved that post you shared on LinkedIn. Here's what I really enjoyed about it. Would love to connect. Would love to have a conversation. Made me think of this. It opens all those doors. But the piece of content in the conversation starter and Sales Navigator is going to show you that they're posting content. It also shows you what their most recent content was. It just lays it up for you and makes selling so much easier, which is what is so important when it comes to competitive selling. Now, my next key secret to Sales Navigator, and I can't tell you how amazing this is, it's smart links. Now, from what I understand, if I remember rightly, this is only applicable to enterprise level Sales Navigator accounts, so might not be easily accessible, although I think even if you are an individual or a smaller team, it is something you can pay a bit more to have. But what it opens up is incredible. So smart links are trackable links that Sales Navigator creates for you. So you can create a Sales Navigator folder where you upload key documents. It could be marketing collateral, it could be a proposal, it could be any number of information that you want to send to a prospect or a potential customer. And what you do is you put it in this folder. The smart link creates a single link that you can then send to your customer or prospect, which they can use. The best part of it is that smart link is being tracked. So as soon as they open it up, Sales Navigator is going to tell you. As soon as they start reading something or watching something, Sales Navigator, they're going to tell you. And even better, they're going to dig really deep on the details. So they'll show you how long that person spent on each document, page, video, etc. They'll show you who has consumed it, even if it's more than the initial person you sent it to. They'll show you who else it was sent to, who else looked at it. It's going to give you all these amazing insights. And that really helps you have an extra level of control on the sales process that otherwise you wouldn't have had. So you could maybe follow up the next day and say, hey, Sarah, I noticed you took a look at the video yesterday. Would love to know what your thoughts were. Did you have any questions about it? You can follow up in a much more proactive way instead of just waiting and waiting for them to come back to you, which we know in X percentage of times they might not come back. And it's only when we are proactively and positively, following up that it can actually help us win and close more deals. So we've got amazing insights. We're using smart links. My next tip, it's all about the in-mails. And this is an interesting one because I'll be the first person to say in-mails, hands down, have the lowest conversion rates, I think, in any sales activity. I'm gonna put it out there. In-mails convert lower than cold calls. And I'm certainly no advocate for cold calling. But trust me, when you receive an in-mail, there is one simple truth. You know that the person who sent you that in-mail has paid to do so. And by paying to send you a message, it's because they want to sell you something. There is nothing more salesy than an in-mail. But Dan, why are you including this as one of your secrets? Why are you promoting in-mails? Because when used correctly, trust me, in-mails can be incredibly effective. But this is the irony to all of this. The reason they don't work very well, because 99.9% of salespeople are sending this type of in-mail. This is why they don't work. It's because the majority of salespeople send spammy, non-personalized sales pitches. So not only are we already against the challenge that people are probably going to know you're trying to sell something, but then you're sending really poorly written, generic, spammy, and non-personalized messages in that in-mail. It blows my mind. It's that those sums don't add up. If I'm using a platform like InMail and I know that already it's going to come across quite spammy, if anything, I'm going to need to personalize it even more than any other type of communication or channel of communication. I'm going to need to personalize it to the whole next level. And that's the secret. In-mails work so well when you go above and beyond in personalization. You make that in-mail purely about the person you're sending it to, and you give as much value as possible. So it's not, hi, my name's Dan. I work for this company. This is what we sell, blah, 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 blah. Here's a link to find more information or to book an appointment with us. Spam it out to loads of people. No, it becomes, hey, Steve, did some research, had a look at your profile, noticed this, and it made me think, actually, here is something we might be able to do to help you achieve this ROI. We actually helped a very similar company achieve these results off of this investment. It's tangible. It's about them. It's about problems you solve. It's about what they're going to get out of it. That's when in-mails work. And that's why they can be super effective. But for some reason, the vast majority, and I mean vast, vast majority of salespeople do not use them that way, which is why generally they don't work. But this is why you have an opportunity, because if you can do it a little bit different, if you can go that extra mile and actually personalize them, you're going to create so many more opportunities. You'll get more responses. You'll have more conversations that will lead to more pipeline and more sales. So in-mails are incredible. Just make it about the person you're sending it to and not about yourself. Spend that little bit of time personalizing it, doing some research, making that message about them, and it will absolutely change your in-mail game strategy. The next one I'm going to put in is lists. I mentioned it at the start. How can you not say that lists are one of the best features of Sales Navigator? As someone who was social selling on standard free LinkedIn for many years before I started using Sales Navigator, I knew how hard it was coming in every day, typing all different search filters, going through and having to start from scratch the next day, re-putting those filters in, going through the list, trying to check off who I had and hadn't reached out to. With Sales Navigator, you can save your searches and you can build and record lists of the prospects and companies that you're trying to sell to. It makes things so much more streamlined, saves your time, makes you a lot more effective and efficient, and keeps them all centralized. My biggest tip when it comes to lists, I keep them organized. I treat my lists, so my list of lists, almost like a bookshelf, like with files, and each file is titled very clearly, so I know what's in each list, whether it's associated to a campaign or a geography or a specific type of decision maker. It is very clearly organized, which makes it a lot easier for me to manage. But lists are a very powerful tool. Now, the last secret I'm going to share is one that's so new. It's not fully rolled out yet, but I'm sure a lot of you have seen lots of people talking about it. Of course, it's Sales Navigator bringing in some artificial intelligence and launching very soon Account IQ. And this is where Sales Navigator is going to be infused with AI to help bring as many of the most relevant insights, ideas, strategies straight into your Sales Navigator account. So every time you're on a prospect's profile, it's going to give you insights or conversation starters or introduction paths, but ones that are superbly developed from all of the data that LinkedIn sits upon. So Account IQ is going to be, I have no doubt, an absolute game changer. It's going to feed right into your relationship maps, which I'll add as a bonus secret. Another one of my favorite features, the fact you can build relationship maps, hierarchies within an organization of decision makers and stakeholders and influencers and key people. So it's all there. It's all there in one central place. Look, Sales Navigator is incredible. Yes, it's expensive. No, it's not for everyone. There is so much you can do on LinkedIn with social selling without Sales Navigator. But if you can tap into some of these key areas, these key secrets, if you can start using it the right way, I have no doubt that you will start to get big results from Sales Navigator, and it will certainly pay its way back within no time. So use Sales Navigator well. Don't just go into the gym, look around the equipment, and don't use any of it. Use all the equipment that Sales Navigator has. The Sales Navigator gym is open. You can call me your Sales Navigator PT, and hopefully today's episode has helped you feel more confident to start using some of these tools, which will hopefully help you get more results from your social selling. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.